With the World Cup just finished in spectacular fashion, I am now more than ever excited for the Premier League to be back. And in the excitement of the Premier League being back, I wanted to rank all of the away jerseys for the Premier League this year. The reason why I picked away jerseys is typically the home jerseys for a lot of these teams kind of look the same every single year. But Premier League teams take the chance to give you something different every single year with the away jerseys. And for that, I am excited to rank the Premier League 2022-2023 away kits. Next up we have is this Bournemouth palm tree leaf style kit. Very, very interesting. Made from shades from palm tree leaves. Very, very beachy vibe. If Hawaii had a team in MLS, I would totally expect this to be their home kit. And it makes sense. Bournemouth is on the south coast of the UK and is very well known for their local beaches. It's very floric and interesting color choices. Actually brings me to grade it down just a little bit because they decided to go and change their normal color scheme. I think this could have gone really, really well with the red and black, or just something at least close to their color design. But this doesn't even look like a Bournemouth jersey. I still really like it though, but I can't put it at the top tier for that reason. So, for that reason, I'm going to put it in decent tier. Alright, next up we have is the Arsenal away kit. Going away from their typical logo to go for just a cannon, I think still works because that's really what Arsenal is. Very interesting kaleidoscope style kit. This kit is gold and black, and it's somehow found a way to bridge the gap between being very eclectic and clean. This one is stunning, and for that I'm going to put it at top tier. Alright, so next up we have is the Aston Villa away kit. And Aston Villa have elected to go for PJs as their jersey. I don't quite understand this. It doesn't look all that good. They changed the colors from their normal design and they didn't do anything with it. It's all around just not a very good jersey. I don't like the stripes going down the middle not being any sort of punching to color or anything that works with their typical designs. I wish they would bring back that black and purple jersey from a few years ago. That one was one of my favorite away jerseys of all time. But this one, unfortunately, it's just not it. I'm gonna have to put this one in terrible. Alright, so the first time that I saw the next kit, I thought very similar vibes to the Aston Villa kit. It's like PJ stuff, right? But the Brentford kit's actually slightly interesting. Whenever you zoom in, it's very scratchy. And it's introducing a redesign, or is it an old design? I haven't looked into it, to be honest. I can't give it highly rated just because it's in all not all that interesting. I'm gonna give it a meh. Alright, next up we have is a very interesting kit by Brighton. It has like a hatching shading fading from the top left-hand side downwards, giving a slight gradient, kind of, that fades off. Very subtle and cool design. I'm not typically a huge fan of orange kits, but you know what? I'll give this one an average rating. Alright. Next up we have is one of my favorites, is the Crystal Palette kit. I think both their home and their away are really, really cool this year. I like the blue squiggles and the red squiggles going down the chest. It's a lot more interesting than if it were just a straight blue and red line or a blue and red line with a white gap in the middle. Out of every single one of these kits that I'd consider owning purely for design's sake, I probably would take this one. And for that, we're going to have our second top tier kit. Next up we have is Everton. A very interesting pink design. I think they've been going for the bright colors as their away kit for the past few years. And then again, having its own version of hatch style shading going inside of the squares gives a little oomph to it. This like drop down effect that almost reminds me of chandeliers hanging from the roof. There is no doubt in my mind that that was not what they were going for. I think it's pretty cool, and I think I'm gonna have our second decent of the video. Alright, so next up we have is the Liverpool kit. And again, it's another unique design, but unlike the other ones, I'm just not a huge fan of this. As a person that even supports Liverpool themselves, you think I'd be biased towards it, but I just think that it's a little extra and it's not all that cool looking. I think a lot of people would really like this kit, but for me, this is going into meh. Next up we have is the Manchester City kit. A kit that has red and black stripes going all the way down the chest with the black arm sleeves on the side. Not doing too much. This is the working balance of being extremely unique without being super extra and being too much. Kind of like how the Liverpool kit has been. With the golden Etihad Airways, Puma, and crest giving another pop of color, I quite like this kit. And for that, I think I'm gonna put this one in... I'm gonna put this one at the top of decent. Next up we have is the Manchester United kit. And to be honest, it's not all that much. It's white with red and black stripes on the sides. It's not all that clean in my opinion. I guess it can work as a perfect away jersey for the really, really clean home jersey. But all in all, it's not that interesting and not all that creative. I'm gonna have to give it a meh. Next up we have is the Nottingham Forest kit, and its cool shoulder pad design with a plain yellow chest. I think this would look dope if there wasn't so much empty space. I want this kit to work. It actually is a really cool design. But just because of the amount of empty space, I'm not a particularly huge fan of it. I will say that just for the design elements, it takes its way all the way to average. But I don't think that it's going to take it anywhere past that. Alright, so next up we have is the Southampton kit with a kind of like water whooshy kind of design, looking like the Rapids, not the Colorado Rapids, but like the water Rapids. Actually, this would be a pretty dope jersey for the Rapids. It kind of works with their color scheme. Although I've never understood why the Colorado Rapids are called the Rapids when it's Colorado, it's mountains. I guess maybe rivers? Well, I guess I'll come back from that tangent. The Southampton kit has a rapid style color coming together to be this like monsterative but also cool and sweet design. This would be a really cool partner in crime kit with last year's home kit from Southampton. With the little dashes that were going downwards, giving kind of like a wavy vibe, working with the waves of this jersey. It really sucks that they have the home jersey that they have this year. It just works so much better with the one they had last year. But this one's still pretty cool as a standalone. I'll give it... I am feeling generous. I'll put it in the top tier. What the heck. You know what? I'm gonna dunk it down to decent tier. Alright, so next up we have is, this monstrosity. What the heck are y'all doing, Tottenham, here? It does not look good at all. And it doesn't work with their colors, which I understand. They've limited themselves to white and black in their design, so you have to be outside of that in order to really do anything interesting. But it doesn't work well with each other, and it's just, I'm putting this one in terrible. Alright, next up we have is the Tottenham jerseys, releasing a actually really cool design with the edge of the sleeves being this just like mesh pad of really interesting designs. The West Ham kit in this picture is not all that good, but whenever it was in actuality, whenever they got their kit sponsors back, it looked pretty dope. I'll put the picture of that on the screen instead of this one. For that reason, this one's just not as good. Either way, I like the uniqueness of the sleeves, keeping a mostly clean jersey. I'm going to put this one in the middle of decent tier. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put it in average. Alright, next up we have is the Wolverhampton Wonders kit. The Wolverhampton Wonders kit, coming off of probably my favorite away kit from the Premier League last year. I mean, it's fine. All in all, it's just not it for me. It's above meh. I'll probably put it at average, I guess. Alright, next up we have is the Chelsea kit. The Chelsea away kits have been, for me, some of the cooler designs over the last few years. And this one goes for a kind of like hoops design. FC Dallas reference. I think what would make this one a top tier kit is if the shoulders were like dark blue instead of white. I think that would be so cool. But as it is, it's still really, really good. I'm gonna put this one, you know what? I'll put this one in the middle of decent tier. Top of decent tier. I'll put it above the Southampton kit. Alright, next up we have is Fulham. So, the Fulham kit is this dashy, panely kind of design with a bright blue and black gradients going inside of the chest. I think it's very interesting, but again, when a team goes way out of their color palette, it always turns me off just a little bit, and I can't really put it extremely high. I'll put this one probably at the top of average. I think it's a lot better than these other designed kits, but not quite on the level of decent. I think it's interesting. I like it. Alright, so next up we have is the Leeds United kit, and me likey. I may be slightly biased because of Tyler Adams and Brendan Aronson being on that team as a US national team fan. This one's really cool. It kind of gives me tie-dye vibes. It's within the normal color scheme that they have, and with the nice, prestigious, and clean white home kit, to have something that just goes all out like this is a really cool complementary kit within their chosen jerseys. I'm putting this one in the top tier. Alright, last but not least, we have the Newcastle kit. And wow, do I like this kit. The gold surrounded by the navy blue looks really, really clean. It looks prestigious and it looks royal. A king would wear this. I am gonna put this one as our fourth and final top tier. So yeah, that's my rankings. Thank y'all for watching. I really enjoy making these sort of tier list videos. Sports jerseys, in general, have always been something I'm very drawn to. If you enjoyed the content, I'm really glad